Hey, you up? It's time for some coffee. Hot, bold, and full of flavor. Tonya McKenzie and Sneed are my morning coffee.
All right, y'all. Welcome to another edition of My Morning Coffee, where we all know that the conversation is always hot, bold, and full of flavor. It's been a minute. If you were just with us about 2 minutes ago, you'll see that this is definitely starting off as a Monday, but we're back. It's been a while. We got to catch up. Gia was just catching up on some tea. I don't know if that's what's in her cup, so let's find out. What's in your cup, Miss Gia?
Good morning. I have coffee in my cup. Yeah, I just have coffee this morning, but I was trying to catch up. Girl, we haven't been on here, it seems like forever. And I think we just need to have a show, just you and I. Y'all need to let us know if you want a show just with Tonya and I just talking, just talking about all kind of crazy stuff, the stuff that we talk about offline. Do y'all want to hear some of this stuff that we say online? But I don't know if we should do that. We might lose a few friends because we be saying some stuff. But no, I was trying to get the tea because I've been up walking. I've been doing my walk thing, right? And so I popped on Facebook real quick early this morning, and I saw an article, something about the strawberry letter and Shirley Strawberry. So I was like, oh, wait a minute, and I normally bypass those kind of things. And I popped in for a minute. And so I guess I didn't even know she got married to some other dude, but I guess the other dude she married to, they got some secret recordings with him and I guess so-called the mistress and some stuff they were saying. And I guess there's some recordings and stuff Shirley done said about Steve and Marjorie. So I was just, before the show, I had saw on Facebook, somebody had posted the clip. So, I'm trying to be nosy. I'm trying to go in and see if I can hear the clip to hear what was said, because it's been a lot of stuff been going on out there in the social media realm and everywhere else about a lot of stuff, and stuff about Steve and Marjorie too. And I don't really, I don't try to get in other people's business and stuff, but I've been hearing little stuff out there. So now I saw this thing about Shirley and I'm like, oh, like a real strawberry letter for real. Like this is really happening to her, I guess. So I was like, oh, maybe I should, be nosy and see what they're talking about. So when the show started, when you started coming on, I was trying to really run real quick, listen to the video, but I didn't have time. And you caught a piece of what a guy was saying.
It's not a real quick thing.
It's not
a whole situation where her dude went to prison, and she tells the story about how he was calling her from jail and she didn't know he was in jail. So of course she wasn't accepting the collect calls. And then somebody got in touch with her and was like, ma'am, you need to answer your phone. Found out he was in jail. The first couple of, I guess, weeks he was in jail, she was trying to comfort him. And she was obviously going through some things. Your husband called you and he in jail and you didn't even know he was a criminal. It's going to blow your mind a little bit. So then she...
Okay, hold up.
No, I got to finish this. She was having a moment with him and on the phone talking about Steve being at Steve's house and said Marjorie treats her like she's the help. So what she didn't know is that those calls, she knew they were being recorded. So anybody that talks to anybody from prison... Okay,
hold on. Stop right there.
Yes.
Stop right there, Tonya. That's what I'm saying. Start right there. If you guys didn't know, I'm finna let you know. Okay. If you're talking to anybody that's incarcerated in any kind of jail or prison, believe it, your phone calls are being recorded. So all this, I didn't know. Come on now, Shirley. You 60-something years old. And, I didn't know this being recorded. Come on, because it tells you have a collect call from such and such place. So
no. She knew they were being recorded. She just didn't know that they would ever be released. So apparently somebody paid a blogger, paid a county worker to release.
She forgot. Wait a minute, Tonya. So you're trying to tell me she forgot she was celebrity? So Shirley, at one point, thought she was a regular chick like you and I talking to our dude that's in jail. So she just so we saying stuff. Don't nobody care about what we said to our dude. We just regular people. So Shirley, at one moment, thought that she was just regular and didn't know that somebody was going to try to get the stuff. Went, come on now. look, I'm not even a celebrity, and I know people trying to get secrets, and I ain't got no secrets, but I know somebody out there trying to get some secrets on me.
But you were also a lieutenant for LA County Sheriff, so I definitely would be trying to get some tea on you, so I could release to LA County.
Right. So come on now. So good morning, y'all.
And then she apologized, and then they had a whole come to Jesus, and then Steve went off about how people have been talking about his wife, but he also told his story about how they were broke when they got together. So yes, when you get a minute, but it's not quick. Like Shirley's piece is about.
Wait a minute. He wasn't broke when he got with Marjorie. He was broke when he got with Mary. Steve, you need to get your stories right, because you got what you left Mary to be with Marjorie.
So you have to listen. You have to listen to the whole thing. You have to listen.
Okay.
Because he's basically saying you don't know what you're talking about, for people that think he left his first wife or his second. I don't know that man's business, okay. But
I don't either. I'm just saying this is what I heard. That's the word on the yard, word on the streets. That's what happened. I don't know. I was shocked when I even learned he was with somebody new, because I was down for him and Mary. He was all about Mary. So I was shocked, because I don't listen to the radio anymore. It's been years since I listened to the radio. So I didn't know any of that stuff was going on, but neither here nor there. I was just trying to be nosy. At one time I was being inquisitive, doing what you want me to do, Tonya, read and listen to shit. But I was trying to.
I actually told you to send me the videos so that we can play them for the people, and then we can talk about them. But that's a whole different conversation. We'll get to that.
Well, what else? I gotta take baby steps, girl. I gotta take baby steps. You know me. I'm still learning this whole social media stuff. You know how I am. So look, I was able to do a reel the other day. I was excited, and I don't even know how I did it, but I was like, hey, I got it done. But I'm gonna learn. I'm retired now, so I'm gonna learn. I got time on my hand, and I got a good teacher, Tonya McKenzie, when she got patience. So I'm gonna get it together.
You definitely.
I'm gonna get it together. So yeah.
What's
been up in your cup? We haven't been together, and it seems like a few months. I feel like the stepsister or something, because you've been out doing stuff with some beautiful people, beautiful women, and you've been posting, and I've been like, oh, I'm not there. I don't get to be there. Oh, so I've been feeling, I've been in my feelings a little bit, but I know
I know you have good intentions, but I highly doubt you want to be at all these sporting events, because we don't even always want to be there, but we show up. That's what we do. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what's in my cup after we bring on our guest. Why is that? Because she's going to talk about all things mental health and wellness for Black women. And I happen to need mental health and be a Black woman and stressed out all the time. And I heard she has an app that can help us with that. So let's bring her on. Miss Katara, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me on the show.
Listen, I heard you're a problem solver.
Here.
Yeah, I heard you're a problem solver, and you about to solve all our problems with your app. So let us know about it.
Let's solve the problem.
Matter of fact,
first let us know what's in your cup.
Yes, what's in your cup?
Yeah, so I'm still working on my morning water. I try to get my ounces in every day, and so I've got water with a packet of liquid IV to hydrate. I went to the gym this morning and worked out, so I'm just trying to hydrate. I'm trying to do better about drinking my water and less caffeine. So that's what's in my cup. Not really excited.
Did you like those hydration packs? I bought some, and I called myself. I was trying to be good, too. I get more water, so I'm gonna try these little hydration things, and I don't really like the taste of them. How do you feel about them?
Yeah, I think it's an acquired taste. I had to get used to it. I didn't like it at first, but then I was like, you know what? This is good for me. This is giving me what I need for the day. This is hydrating me. And it's like drinking like a couple glasses of water. It's really hard for me to drink water. I just don't like the taste of water. So the packets actually increase your hydration intake. So that was a little bit more motivation for me. So I actually got over the taste. And once I kept drinking it, it's actually not that bad.
Okay, so I gotta keep trying.
Can't you put it in something else? Can't you just put it in juice or something? Or it has to go in water?
I like to put it in water. I'm trying to be good with my sugar intake. So I'm trying not to do a lot of juice. Just,
You're over here practicing what you preach and all that good stuff.
I am practicing.
Yeah, look, Tonya, she over here making us all look bad because she, she all look at her skin, look at her, she look all vibrant and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting it. Like I said, baby steps.
It works. It works. Prioritizing our well-being over here. That's what we're doing.
Because the people that I know that use the hydration is usually to recover from a night out, but that's a whole different conversation.
I've used it for that too. So
I love it. Okay. I love it. I love it. So listen, I want to know about this app. I know we are in a moment where stress is high, anxiety is higher. And I heard you have a solution for that and incorporated some modern technology. So why don't you let the people know about it? And then we'll get into the whys and hows.
Yeah, so Exhale is an emotional well-being app designed to support Black women in their overall well-being. So we think about emotional well-being, it's helping to partner with Black women in decreasing stress. So we have meditations, breathwork techniques, calming sounds, just to help partner with specifically Black women, because our stress is actually higher, because we have to not only deal with everyday stressors, but we also have to deal with the stress, anxiety, and trauma that comes with systemic racism and other systems of oppression. And so Exhale is designed to really partner with Black women in their overall well-being and decreasing stress, anxiety in their bodies. Yeah.
So I get that you have the app, and for us people that are, little seasoned or challenged, and, this app world is kind of new to us and we're not really into it. Walk us through how the app works. Okay. So I get the app, and now what?
Yeah. So you can go to the App Store or Google Play and download the app. Once you download the app, you have to put in your email, and then the app will open. You can put in your name. There's a page that you can add a photo or put in your name, and then it'll take you to what we're calling a breathing orb. So it's an animated orb that kind of like encourages you to inhale, and it gets bigger. And then on the exhale, it gets smaller. So super easy to really interact with that orb. And then you can put in how much time do you have. It asks you how much time do you have, and how, what do you need? Do you need to breathe? Do you need calming sound? Would you like to meditate? Then you choose those options, and then it'll spit out some options for you.
So then listen. Okay, so then I'm listening to, like, say I need it to give me an ocean sound. So then I'll get an ocean sound for like maybe 20 minutes or something like that if I had that much time.
Well, we surveyed our users and decided to give 5, 10, and 15-minute options. Much like we experienced microaggressions, we wanted to give our users opportunities for micro self-care. A lot of times when you think about mindfulness, meditation, breath work, we think we have to carve out an hour or half hour. And a lot of times we don't have that much time. And so what we decided to do is listen to our users and say, you know what, much like I experience these microaggressions, I can experience micro self-care. So I can, download the app and say, okay, I have 5 minutes right now. I have 10 minutes right now. I have 15 minutes right now. If you want to stay in the app for longer, you can. But our meditations, breathwork techniques, and calming sounds are 5, 10, and 15-minute options.
Okay. So my question would be, how do people know what they need? Most of the time, when we're losing it, or we're stressed, or we're having some anxiety issues, we need help. We don't always know that we need help and what that help looks like if we haven't already developed some sort of, anti-triggering technique.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what we decided to do with the app, my team and I, is to create something that resonates with Black women specifically. So we're speaking directly to the stress that we encounter. And so we try not to make it really difficult. We try to make it really easy for Black women to navigate the app. When we ask you, what do you need? We say, do you need to just breathe? Do you need to calm, right? Do you need a calming sound? Would you like to meditate? Those are the 3 options, and you choose from those options. And also our content is culturally relevant and specific to us. So we have meditations that speak to anti-Blackness and the way in which Black women are treated in the world. And so we don't dodge those issues. We lean into those issues because we wanted Exhale to be a safe and brave space for Black women to come to. And what we're hearing from our users is that they're seeing themselves and reflected back to themselves in the app. So the photos that we use, the models that we've used, the voice, my voice and what I'm saying feels like them. They're resonating and being able to see themselves. And so people are returning to the app because it's speaking directly to them and the way in which they're forced to weave through life.
So tell me, what made you want to create this type of app?
Yeah, in 2020, I was reaching for mental health and well-being apps that I normally would reach for just to manage my own stress and anxiety due to being quarantined. The pandemic had hit in the spring of 2020, as you all remember. We were all very unsure about how long this was all, going to last. What was the impact going to look like? And then the news started reporting that COVID was impacting the Black community disproportionately. I was highly concerned. I have an elderly mother. They were saying that, it was impacting the Black community because we have pre-existing conditions. And then they were stopping with that narrative, which we all know that that's not the full story. We have pre-existing conditions because of health disparities and because of systemic racism. So I was really frustrated. I was also worried. As you all remember, I'm sure you felt the anxiety and stress during that time. And so I was reaching for some mainstream well-being apps that I won't call out here, but some of the top ones that are in market. And they were saying nothing to the Black community. We watched Ahmaud Arbery get killed, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd. And during that time, those apps were not addressing specifically what the Black community was going through and how that was impacting our mental health, how it was impacting our emotional well-being. And so I got really frustrated. I was really frustrated, angry. I was not surprised, but I was mad. And so I decided to create the very thing I was looking for. I was looking for something that spoke directly to my stress, my community's stress and anxiety. And so, I got to work in the spring of 2020. I'm not an app developer. I've never thought that I would develop an app. It was never on my vision board. I saw a need and I went to work to meet the need. And so I was able to find a platform. I wrote meditations on my patio in between going to Black Lives Matter marches. I also was traveling to Kentucky to bring awareness around Breonna Taylor's death. We were able to bring in August of 2020. So been in market for 3 years. We just launched the new version of Exhale, which we're really proud of. It just launched this summer.
Well, that's awesome.
It's really hard to be Black in tech. What's going on with you in this space? Have you gotten investors? Is that something that you're looking at doing? Did you bootstrap it? Talk to us about that process.
Yeah, so we've bootstrapped for 3 years. We've gotten some grants and some investment, non-diluted funding from organizations like the Highland Project, who invest in Black women and their visions and their legacy dreams. We were just able to receive this spring the Nile Capital Fund, which is through Be Nimble Foundation here in Indianapolis, Indiana, who invested capital in us to be able to complete the new version of the app. So we have been able to get some money, some funding to be able to move the needle forward. As I'm sure you all know, and maybe your listeners might know or may not know, but Black people, Black entrepreneurs get less than 1% of all venture capital that's raised. Black women get a percentage of that 1%. So I think it's like 0.03% of funding that's raised through venture capital. So it is a huge mountain that Black women have to climb when we want to bring an idea to life. Really in any industry. Of course, I'm in tech, so it's a very white male dominated industry. And I'm also not just a Black woman, but I'm creating a resource and an app for Black women. So it makes it really challenging to get people to believe in what you're doing and also invest. We've been fortunate to get some funding. But it's kind of daunting when you think about a white male who has an idea and gets millions of dollars kind of thrown at him. And then you have Black women who have really phenomenal ideas. And not just ideas, but we brought the thing to life, right? It's in market. People are downloading it and using it to get people to pay attention to what we're doing. It's been really challenging.
Do you think it's when you say that percentage is very low, do you think a lot of Black entrepreneurs are just not applying or, reaching out or with venture capitalists to try to get funding? Is that has something to do with it? Or is it just because, I go to a lot of different retreats and conferences, and that question comes up about, you're a small business entrepreneur. And we're finding out that a lot of people, they say they have a business, but do they really have a business? Have they really done all of it takes? And I know when you try to get funds from either grants and things like that, you have to have all your ducks in a row. And have you seen that to be a problem, that, we in business, we might have half the things done, but we still got a few other things we got to get done. And then that's kind of holding us back and getting some of this money.
I don't think that that's the case. I think that we are scrappy. I think that Black entrepreneurs are resilient. I think we're smart. I think we know how to take 2 pennies and make 10 cents. I think that, I used to look at my grit and my scrappiness as a default, like, I have to figure this out. I have to make something out of nothing. And I'm realizing as a Black entrepreneur and other Black entrepreneurs, that's actually a really amazing skill set that we have. I don't think we're ill-equipped. I don't think we're not reaching out. I don't think that it's because we're not pitching, we're not asking for the investment. I believe it's because of systemic oppression and racism. It's wealth inequity. It's we are trying to bring about equity in this space. And so we don't have access like our white counterparts do. And it's because of historical racism. And so it's problematic. We've got, affirmative action just got shot down. So we have organizations like the Fearless Fund, who are Black women investing in marginalized entrepreneurs who are now being sued by a white male billionaire, saying that what they're doing is racist, what they're doing is wrong. And all they're trying to do is bring about equity for the Black community and brown communities. Right. So it is problematic. It's not because we're ill-equipped or we don't have our shit together.
So that was actually going to be my next question. For those of you that don't know, the same people that filed the lawsuit to help get rid of affirmative action have also been suing organizations that financially support African-American businesses and these funds. So again, we're looking at a situation where we're getting less than 1% of the funding for actual products, when there are people getting millions and millions of dollars for concepts. So when people say that there is no such thing as systemic racism in this country, they are absolutely lying. They're lying to themselves and they're lying to their constituents, their public. They're lying. So my question to you is, how do we better educate our communities and support one another? One of the things Gia and I talk about on a regular basis we always say, oh, you know, Black women supporting Black women, women supporting women, whatever the case may be. But when it's time to really support, collaborate, bring together, it doesn't happen. It just doesn't. I got you. What does that actually mean? Maybe I don't need your app. How else can I support you? How can we, as Black women, support one another in a way that uplifts not just ourselves, but our, our community, our products, our services, the quality, the way that we are seen in public as a community with services and products? Like, what does that look like to you?
I think it's about being intentional. It's about being intentional. It's about keeping the dollar in the Black community. It's about building Black Wall Street all over again, right? It's not necessarily building streets, like we saw years and years ago with buildings and businesses, but we can do that online. We can do that through social media. It's keeping the dollar in our community. So it's finding apps that are created by Black women like Exhale, and downloading the app, using the app, paying for the app, sharing it with other Black women in your life, right? It's finding local businesses that are Black-owned restaurants, people that are selling hair care products, like really trying to think about, and my husband and I did this years ago, is sitting down and saying, what are we purchasing? What vendors are we engaging with? And are there Black-owned businesses that we could be giving our business to versus what's in front of me, what's being presented to me, because it's, usually white-owned, because that's what we see, because they have the money for the advertising, they have the money to invest in marketing. And so we as the Black community have to do our due diligence to find those people, right? Like, for instance, Black Girl sunscreen. Well, I'm not going to go buy a regular sunscreen when I can purchase Black Girl sunscreen and use that in the summer and use that on my skin, right? And so it's finding those brands and investing in those brands, and then telling people about those brands. It's spreading the word. It's saying, hey, have you tried this? I'm using Excel app. Have you downloaded it? Have you tried it? Make sure you subscribed. Make sure you share it with other Black women in your life, right? And so it's about, something I've been saying for years now is, can we build back Black Wall Street? Can we do that? And what does that look like?
A lot of things you're saying, Tonya and Alex, she said, we talk about this all the time. And I think it's really, how do you change our people's mindset? Because again, you're right. You're supposed to spread the word. I can tell everybody about, go download the Excel app, go download the Excel app. But it seems to me that our people, they don't want to do it until it becomes a thing. It has to, somebody else has to talk about it that doesn't look like me. Then all of a sudden they're going to download your app. When here it is, I'm telling them, oh, this is a good app, you should download it, yada, yada, yada. And it's like the support is not there. And that's what Tonya and I talk about a lot. We know quite a few people that have, entrepreneurs and stuff, that have businesses and stuff. And we're always talking about, hey, go support this, go support that. But sometimes we don't see it. And that's, we always scratch our head, because it's like, come on, like, for example, Tonya has a PR company, okay? And people who need PR, okay, that look like us. How come, you should be, that should be on top of, when somebody asks about a PR firm, Sand and Shore should be coming out of our people's mouths, because it's Black owned, it's owned by us. But again, it's always like, well, I don't, unless somebody else says Sand and Shore that doesn't look like me, I don't know if I'm going to go to Sand and Shore. And we shouldn't, at this point in our lives, this point in, society, we shouldn't be there. Like you said, bring Black Wall Street back. But I see a lot of people that are about the Black Wall Street, and some are doing it, but there's still a lot of us that are not, like, they're clueless. It's like you said, you and your husband sat down and you guys decided, you know what, the things that we're spending our money on, we're going to find a Black owned company to spend our money on. And that's awesome. And Tonya and I, we're the same way, but I don't think a lot of us that look like us, the three of us, are like that unless that business is a thing.
Yeah, I think we have some decolonizing to do, right? Like, we're swimming in the we've digested, right? We have digested colonization, racism as well. And so our community has to heal, right? We have to decolonize ourselves and think about ways in which we're doing the same, we're perpetrating the same issues, right? Like it's continuing partially because of us. And so we have to kind of put the mirror up to ourselves. We have to encourage people in our circles to do the same, so that we can truly be a community that supports each other, right? And I have found in the last several years, I have found that, you know, not everybody's going to support, but I have found people that have rallied around me, Black people, Black women who are super supportive, who are uplifting me. And again, not everybody's there. Not everybody's healed in that way, right? They have the ability to do that. And so we have some work to do. Our community has some work to do. We have some decolonizing to do in our community. But I think it's important if there's a few of us, if there's a collective of us that are really about building each other up, that we can shift, we can make a shift, and we can make a change.
How do you take care of yourself? This is a stressful job. It's a stressful business, a stressful industry. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, I created the app because I coach Black women, and I really encourage them to cultivate well-being practices in their lives. And it's well-being practices that I use. So I meditate every morning, even if it's for 5 or 10 minutes. Take some deep breaths. I try to do that throughout the day. In the middle of the afternoon, after this call, I'll probably sit here, close my computer, and take some deep inhales and long exhales. I walk every day, even if it's cold. I live here in Indiana. It gets really cold here in the winter. I bundle up and I walk at least a mile every day. I try to get up and go to the gym a couple days a week, drink my water, put good things in my body. Eat really good. I try to eat good. I mean, last night I didn't. I had some cookies and ice cream. So I cheat and do all the fun stuff too. But I really try to think about myself as a holistic person, a whole person. And if I'm trying to take care of my physical self, but I'm not focused on my mental health, then I'm out of balance. My grandmother would say, you're out of whack. So I try to look at like all parts of myself. And how am I engaging in all those parts? How am I moving my body? How am I paying attention to the trauma that still exists from something that happened to me when I was a teenager, right? Like, how am I engaging in my mental health every day? And not looking at it as this huge thing that I have to carve out 2 hours a day or an hour, but really thinking about it in micro ways. How am I really giving myself what I need in little bite sizes throughout the day? So I'm trying to get good sleep. I have a pretty hard stop bedtime. I'm going to bed. I'm getting my pajamas on. I'm getting into bed at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock's my time to go to bed. The weekends, I don't do that. But during the week, I try to get into bed at a certain time, taking my supplements. So there's lots of things that I do. But there's the main thing when I think about Exhale app is like, how am I taking care of my mental health and my emotional well-being? And that is pausing, breathing, meditating, really paying attention to the internal part of me, as well as attempting to take care of my physical health as well.
What iteration is your app at this point? How many times have you redone it, reworked it, released something new? Where are you at with that?
Yeah, we are on our second big release. We released it back in July. And that iteration we've been tweaking. So we've had some bugs and some things that we've added. We're going to be doing another iteration here in the next few months. So we're on our second big version of the app that we're super excited about. It's more custom. We have meditations, again, breathwork techniques, calming sounds. There's a link to a podcast that we just launched, Ready to Excel, the podcast that I host, that folks can download and also listen to. Again, the breathing orb is in there that we designed, and so we're really excited about this new version. We have a paywall, and so it's $4.99 a month or $44.99 for the year. You can use it for free for 7 days to try it out, and then subscribe.
Where are you getting your support and your engineers? Like, who's helping you with this?
Yeah, so I hired an app development firm. It's woman-owned. It's out of San Francisco. They're my techie people. They're helping me bring it to life, helped me bring it to life. And when we have issues, they're contracted out. And so they're part of our team, but they're not an internal team. We have them to help us with any new development that we want to do, any bugs, anything that, any hiccups that we're having in the app, I reach out to them, or they reach out to me and say, hey, we need to get this fixed. And so, yeah, we have an external development firm that we have hired.
Well, I want to say that your app, I think, is really doing good for you, because I'm just listening to you. You have a calmness about you, and it's just like, wow, I'm calm now that I've been on this podcast with you.
Because you were a little fired up earlier. You were a little fired up.
I was like, well, she really, you have this calmness about you that's really great, so
I'm glad I brought you on when I did, because she was on fire for the wrong stuff.
She was on fire. Listen, download the app. You can hear this voice every day.
Yeah. Give you some exhale in your life.
I like that pitch. I like that. See?
You can have this voice in your back pocket whenever you want.
What professional organizations do you happen to be a part of? Because I know you can't just be going through this life and this business by yourself. Do you have mentors? Do you have coaches? Talk to the people about being a tech entrepreneur and how you continue to learn and grow.
Yeah, so I have a local, I was a part of an accelerator program. I mentioned Be Nimble earlier, who invested, the Nile Capital Fund invested into our company financially, but they've also invested in me as an entrepreneur. So I meet with the co-founder, Kelly Jones, on a regular basis. She's really mentored me through being in the tech space, being an organization, a company. Much of my adult life has been in the nonprofit world. So transitioning from a nonprofit to having a for-profit, she's really been supportive. I would not be where I am without Be Nimble Foundation here in Indianapolis. They are phenomenal at supporting Black entrepreneurs and founders. So I have them that I really lean into, really a support, wraparound support for me. I also mentioned the Highland Project, who is on the East Coast, led by Gabrielle Wyatt. She founded the Highland Project, who selects 15 Black women to invest into this. So they invest $100,000 in each woman in a cohort of 15. And then they give you a coach for 18 months. So I have one-on-one coaching. And then we also have groups where we meet on a regular basis within that organization. That has been a huge support. Talking about, a lot of what we talk about is legacy building, and how are we building legacy 7 generations from now. And so being connected to that organization has just continued to breathe life into my vision, and taking an approach that may not be a traditional approach in building legacy. We're, as an organization, being a part of this organization, is redefining what wealth means for Black people. What does it mean to build legacy for 7 generations? And so it's really stretched me as a person. and also as an entrepreneur. So yes, I have a coach. Yes, I have these support systems. I also have an advisory team that I've been able to build out over the last several years. We were a part of MIT Solve, which they pick solvers from all over the world. And through that, I was able to meet some people to put on my advisory team. So I have an amazing advisory team that I can pick up the phone, text, and they will interact with me and help me navigate if I'm going through something. I also really lean into my family. I have an amazing mom who's 80 years old. She turned 80 this year, who's supportive. My sister, my daughters. I have 2 adult daughters. My husband, a cousin that I can pick up the phone and cry and yell and be frustrated. So I think it's important to like really surround yourself with people that believe in you, that are going to support you. And the naysayers and the folks that are just going to bring you down, you just got to set a boundary and kind of get those people out of your life. When you're on a mission to do something, you got to get some people around you. And that's not a lot of people. That's not always a lot of people. But if it's the right people, it can help continue to fuel the fire that you have in you toward your mission and vision and what you want to do.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. Why don't you let the people know where they can follow you and support you and all this cool stuff that you have going on? There might be some questions. And then make sure we have the information for the app. Will be in the captions. But if there's anything else you want to add, give it to them. Give it to the people.
Yeah. Just you can find us at Exhale App on Instagram. You can also find us at exhale-app.com. If you go to exhale-app.com, you can download the app from there. We're at the App Store. We're in Google Play. We also did a report where we surveyed over 1,000 Black women on their self-care, their mental, emotional, physical health. You can download the full report at the website. You can follow me at Katara McCarty on Instagram. That's where I'm at most of the time. And you can also find me on LinkedIn at Katara McCarty.
So appreciate you being here and being transparent with us about this journey that you've been taking. I know for a fact that being in tech, Black woman or man, is not easy. You see it? You got it, Gia? She's trying to show
you. Is that it right there on Instagram?
I can't see.
Yeah, it's a little. It's a little.
Is your logo a little?
It's an E. A little cursive E.
Yeah. Okay. This is it. This is it. Got it.
So we'll make sure that we share all of that information. Gia, put it on our Facebook page and share it in our stories too. So you guys make sure if you can't see it or you feel like you can't find it, we'll have it. We'll have all that information. Don't disconnect and just be like, okay, I'm done with the pod. I'm out. No, go get connected, stay connected, download the app, share the app with one of your homegirls you know needs it, because we all got her. Okay, we all have that friend. Make sure you share it. Right. Again, Miss Katara, thank you so much. Thank you for being patient. We had some tech issues earlier, y'all. I was like, what kind of Monday are we having? But we have someone that has a
Monday name.
Yes, and we did that.
Monday is Monday. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate what you all are doing. And yeah, I'm sending you all the good energy for all of your successes as well.
Absolutely appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yes. Please stay in touch. Know that once you are a part of the My Morning Coffee family, we are always here to support you. If you're out here in California at all, girl, let us know if you need us to come to where you are. We're happy to do that too. So let's stay connected. Thank you for being here and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Miss Gia, what'd you think?
I think that it was really good. I'm interested. I'm going to, check this app out because
that's crazy.
I think a lot of people could benefit from it. But she said she gave a lot of good nuggets. And what I really liked about, she really talked about her circle, the people around her, her team. And like you and I talk about this all the time. You got to have a team to be successful. You need a team. You can't do this stuff by yourself because it will have you stressed the hell out and trying to do everything. And it's okay not to be able to do everything, but get a good group of people that support you, that want to uplift you and want to see you succeed. and make stuff happen. And we need to have more of that happening.
Yeah, I love it. All right, guys. Well, we will see you, I think, in 3 weeks. I think it's going to be 3 weeks, but make sure you tap in. Make sure you share the pod. If you haven't already, go to Spotify and like and follow the podcast. Share it with a friend, and we will see you guys back here in the next couple of weeks. Stay connected, and you'll get that alert. All right, guys.
Bye.
She's still working. She got to concentrate, y'all.
I'm trying to figure some things out.
Clearly.